Hello everyone, my name is Nastasia and I'm a certified KonMari consultant. In this video, we'll be making a vision board. One of the first things in the KonMari method is to visualize your ideal lifestyle. And one way of doing that is to create a vision board. If you're about to start your own tidying festival or you're creating a manifestation board or a vision board, this video is for you. Let's get started. The first thing is to gather your materials. So you will want your actual poster board, so you can have something big or small, your glue, staples, tape, and your magazine clippings or little images that you'd like to paste on your vision board. This is where I'd like to challenge you to use what you have. So if you have any magazines already, take a look, see if there are any visuals there that still resonate with you, that you might want to put on your vision board. Also, if you're a crafter, I'd like to challenge you to use any craft materials that you already have, kind of use them up and enjoy them. So I will be using these little butterfly things that I already had. You can also use a folder, and a folder is pretty neat way to do it because it can fold out and you can put it away. You can also just use a piece of paper, whatever you have. There are different ways to prepare and visualize your ideal lifestyle. There are some techniques out there. So one of them is the 5 senses grounding technique. So this is kind of usually used for grounding exercises, but you can adapt it for your visualization. You can think about, in your ideal life, kind of what kind of input are you getting from your senses? What do things look like? For example, in my ideal closet, it's full of color, full of pinks, it has a classic style. Or my ideal closet is full of neutrals and has a different kind of style. Another example is, what do you hear? How does your ideal lifestyle sound like? It could sound like laughter and chatter, because in your ideal lifestyle you are hosting a lot and have a lot of friends over. Or it could sound like classical music and quiet, because in your ideal lifestyle you spend a lot of time recharging and taking care of yourself. What does your ideal lifestyle smell like? Does it smell like good food and chocolate and pastries, because you love baking and that's what you'd like to do this upcoming year? Does it smell like your favorite candle or lavender? Because you're relaxing. So stuff like that. So that's kind of the technique. You go through your 5 senses and imagine what your ideal lifestyle feels like. You can also try areas of life technique. So you think about the different areas of your life, such as your health, your career, your romantic relationships, your family relationships. You think about different aspects of your life, and you can rate them if you like. You can say, okay, right now I feel like I am, doing really well in my career. Maybe I'd love to improve my relationships with my family and friends. And then you choose a few areas of your life to focus on. So that could be a way to visualize. You can also think about your ideal day, such as your ideal weekday or weekend. So you can think about like the ideal flow of your time. So in the morning, ideally I wake up early and I make my favorite cup of coffee and I see the sunrise. I exercise because exercise is important to me, and then I dive into work and have a very productive and purposeful day. So you can that's another way to visualize, is like think through the flow of your day and what kind of things are you doing that spark joy through your day. So these are just some of the visualization techniques. I'm sure there's others. And it also helps to journal a little bit. So before you dive into making your vision board, it can help to journal a little bit, organize your thoughts about what you'd like to see in the upcoming year. And I actually have a worksheet, a free worksheet that I'll link down below that you can use to journal and organize your thoughts. But ultimately, the idea is to clarify why you are trying to tidy up if you are about to start your tidying festival and envision your best life. And during the tidying festival, you will be using the vision board and comparing it with your belongings. So it can really be a very handy tool if you're stuck and if you're kind of making more challenging decisions. So for example, you might run into a lot of hobby and craft supplies. Like I'm a crafter, I have a lot of craft supplies. And it can be tough to really figure out what sparks joy, because all of it sparks joy, but there's, space limitations. So you can use your board and use that to guide you. So you can say, okay, I decided in this upcoming year, I'll be focusing on sewing or crocheting and baking. And based on that, based on what I envisioned, do my art supplies support that? Like, will they support this goal that I'm trying to focus on this year? So you essentially, like, what you're trying to is help yourself during the difficult parts of your tidying festival by creating this vision board that you can compare during the process. Sometimes it can be hard to visualize ideal lifestyle. It is a difficult exercise, so if you are kind of challenged or kind of drawing a blank, that's totally normal and that's totally okay. It's very difficult to kind of, whenever you have your life and you have your stuff in your home and it is what it is and it's material and it's here, you can see it. It's very hard to get yourself out of there, get your mind out of where you're at and where you'd like to be. That's a difficult thing to do. And it's because it's a little bit like dreaming, right? You're dreaming about your ideal situation. And like in our culture, dreaming is seen as impractical, right? Compared to like goal setting or, hustling. Dreaming is impractical. It's also a very incredibly hopeful thing to do, and that kind of leaves you vulnerable. It makes you feel vulnerable because you're sort of opening up your heart and, putting yourself out there. And visualizing can also be difficult because you're acknowledging that things are not ideal. Things are not as you wish they would be. And as you're kind of thinking through that, you can already see how just this small exercise of visualizing your ideal lifestyle is already beginning to tidy up your mind, because you're processing what you have, your ideas, and you're choosing the ideas that you'd like to pursue that spark joy. So the life-changing process of the KonMari method, like, it begins with the visualizing. Visualizing can also be difficult because essentially you could be tackling a major fear right now for all the reasons that I've mentioned. You could be, have a fear of being vulnerable, fear of acknowledging that things are not ideal, fear of hope, because what if you get disappointed? But also fear of change, because what if what you hope for does transpire? What if it does happen? And then you'll have to change, and then things change. And that can be scary. But that's exactly what the KonMari method promises. Big changes, big transformations. And it all begins with visualizing your ideal lifestyle, with your vision, and maybe this vision board. This could be the beginning. One of the great things about the KonMari method is that it helps you build confidence. in your decision making, because you're essentially going through a lot of reps of reviewing what you have and choosing what sparks joy. So you're making a lot of decisions. It builds your confidence in your decision making, and you're honing in your joy sensor. You're honing in on, okay, what sparks joy for you? And it makes you more sensitive to things that do not spark joy, everything that doesn't. And that's very transformative in of itself, because a lot of times we can suppress kind of our feelings and what, it doesn't feel good, because we just have to get on with our day. But this is how the KonMari can change your life. It can make you more sensitive to joy and things that are not joyful, don't feel good to you. And it can also, going through the KonMari method and decluttering and organizing your belongings also gives you a positive material experience. So by going through this process and letting go and releasing things that don't feel good to you, and cherishing and choosing things that do, gives you like a positive material experience where you get to see, hey, letting go of things that don't feel good, nothing implodes, you're not struck by lightning, everything's okay, and maybe things are even better. Probably things really improve in your life. So it gives you kind of a positive experience so that you can take those skills and that experience and tackle the intangible things, like maybe your relationships or career choices and other things in your life that you'd like to tackle. And it all starts here. So I'm going to wrap up this vision board now, and we'll chat with you later. All right, I'm finished with my vision board. Here's what I have. I like how it turns out. It has a lot of beautiful colors. This year, I'm trying to focus on more creative flow to my life, more romance and ease. So I think this vision board captures it nicely. Let me know in the comments below what you're focusing on this year, and if this inspired you to begin your own tidying festival. Check out my website in the description and book that free consultation. Thank you so much. Chat with you soon.